Hello, everyone, and welcome to the first panel of our second day of Virtual CMON Expo 20th anniversary. Whew, I'll take off this mask. I just wanted to showcase it. It's part of our gift box, which you can find in our store. Well, anyway, I'm joined here today by Thiago Aranha and Francesco Nerpitello. How are both of you?
Yeah, I do think you don't need a mask. I think we're social distancing enough. You being in Brazil, Francesco in Italy, and me in Singapore. I think there's a safe distance there. You don't need the mask.
Well, you never know. Also, these are really cool. Have I showed?
Yes.
Sorry, this is a Zombicide panel, but have you seen this one? This one is not.
You really like that one, don't you?
I really like that one. This is the best message.
That's super cool.
Yes.
Well,
Hi. Yeah, Thiago here, producer of several Zombicide games and others.
Francesco here, designer of the Zombicide Chronicles role-playing game and other things that will be part of the future of Zombicide.
Ooh,
Nice.
Mysterious. I see people are joining in. Let's just wait like, I think 30 seconds to a minute more should be enough. So as you may, as Aranha already told you, we're in 3 different continents. So it's about 1 p.m. my time. What time is it for you guys?
Midnight here.
And 6 p.m. here.
Yeah, I counted the bells tolling. I
Yes, you can tell by that. It will go for a while. I'm very close to a lot of bell towers. I don't know if you have ever been to Venice, Italy. There's a church every 15 meters, probably. And so every church has a bell tower. And when it's 6 p.m. and also 5 p.m. and 4 p.m., you hear the bells ringing.
Nice.
That's very useful. Keeping track of time.
Yes. Yeah.
Okay, I see people joined in. I guess it's a good time to start.
Yeah, we can start. So Zombicide, not much happening in that realm, huh?
End of the panel. Thank you for joining in.
Yep. Hope you like Zombicide. Yep, we're done.
Well, we've had a couple of really exciting additions to the Zombicide family recently. I was thinking we could start with that. Mainly, let's start with 2nd edition, just delivered to backers and
I believe
everybody
got it. All the backers got it, if I'm not mistaken, or are just about to get everywhere in the world. It's hitting retail. That was a very interesting project to go back to our roots after doing fantasy and sci-fi and really playing around with the formula, just kind of taking it back to basics. Let's look back to where it all started and bring all the latest developments, refine it, and sand any corners that were a bit off. And I'm really happy with the product that turned out. That I see people really enjoying the game. I think it does what it was supposed to do, which is to be the new kind of cornerstone of the whole Zombicide franchise. Looks gorgeous, plays fast, fun. That's what Zombicide is supposed to be.
True, that is true. Also coming up soon in 2022, we have Undead or Alive, which you also produced, correct, Aranha?
No, I didn't put it. That was Rebecca. I'm of course I'm heavily involved with every Zombicide we do, but I don't know, it kind of fell on my lap to be kind of the Zombicide producer, Overwatch guy. So Rebecca produced Zombicide Western and Undead or Alive. That was a very good Kickstarter that we had earlier this year, and now we're doing all the heavy work that is needed to bring it to fruition. Proofreading files, doing all the print things, checking samples. It's looking very good. We should have the Pledge Manager going live soon on BackerKit now. So don't worry that's happening soon. And then things are shaping up well in production. It's building up steam, pun intended, with the whole steampunk theme of it. And I think it's just so nice to see the Zombicide formula franchise, whatever, exploring all these kind of niches and universes and play styles. There's something for everybody. Like if you don't like the classic modern Zombicide, kind of started with Romero and Walking Dead. If you don't like that thing, there's a different flavor of Zombicide for you around the corner.
Another exciting new addition to the Zombicide family is the RPG, which, Francesco, if you can expand a little bit on that.
Actually, it's the RPZ.
Oh, I'm sorry. Role-playing zombie.
Exactly. No, it was really good to work on the project, because as Thiago said, it was really cool to be part of this new stage in the development of the Zombicide property, let's call it. And it was interesting to come from a completely different angle, because of course the role play, the board game gives one particular perspective to the players, and that's a very moment to moment perspective of frantic action, and approaching it from the point of view of the role-playing game, that, as everyone familiar with role-playing games in general knows, it's a more 360 degrees view of the world, because you need to know what happens between every Zombicide, what happens to the survivors, what do they do when they're not hacking at the dead arms of zombies. And so it was interesting to try to develop that. And I must say that it was really great to see that Zombicide already did much of the work that we needed to do, because we discovered that Zombicide is a sort of a filter. It's not simply like a game world, because there's not really much detail in there. It's more of a filter over our own reality, and that's how we approached it to create a role-playing game. Instead of giving you hundreds of pages of details of a game world that we invented, we told you how to put the filter on your own. So how to zombify your world. You can play in your own city and just put everything you find in Zombicide Chronicles to practical terms in turning your own city into the battlefield of Zombicide. And so that was exactly what we wanted to do, and you guys make it easy for us to do it, because every element was already there. Mainly, I think it was the survivors, because we thought by analyzing the games that, after all, what people like in Zombicide is these larger than life characters that stick to your mind when you think about the game. Every player has a favorite one, and it was also.
I remember our first meeting. I think about the RPG. I think it was some Gen Con several years ago, and it was pointing exactly this, like trying to get to the center of what is the Zombicide universe, like, because it's not just like a place or a story. It's a vibe. It has that tongue-in-cheek kind of exaggerated reality where everything is brought beyond the surface. Everything, like, you wear your inside out, right? You express who you are in how you dress and how you behave and what you do. It's very in your face. So it's
it's absolutely something. It's like Zombicide is more comparable to a lifestyle than to a game world that has all the tiny details about this and that. You have to to capture the mood in a game, to call it Zombicide, and I think we were successful. Of course, we had the opportunity to use all the assets that the company has, so the art, original art, and art that was already existing. I think the book looked gorgeous. It's a full color hardcover, and it's brimming full with Zombicide stuff from characters and different monsters, and from the experience that the game will be already reached the backers that got it through the Zombicide Second Edition Kickstarter, but the general public will find it in stores
very soon, right?
mid-September or end of September, something like that.
Mm-hmm.
But
Soon.
what we experienced from the point of view of the playtesting, it was nice to see that players of Zombicide that were our real audience, because we wanted to give a game to those players first and then to everyone else. But in the first place, we wanted to make a game that felt true to the Zombicide fans, to the Zombicide board games fans. And it was nice to see that the Zombicide board game fans really, there were a few playtesters that said it felt like a sort of a Zombicide virtual reality experience. Like if they were able to get into the Zombicide board game and be there, because they could not simply see the tiles and the maps, but they could imagine everything else.
Yeah, I think that was really the intent, and it's amazing that you managed to do that, because it is the same game. The same thing is happening. You're just looking at it from a closer, more vivid perspective. But it should evoke the same feelings, the same challenges, the same fun, and all that. And I think you achieved that.
Yeah.
And it should reach retail soon. I'm not sure we have a date, but you probably have been following closely the reactions of backers who already received it. How has that been?
Oh, well, actually, me in particular, in the last bells again, in the last couple of months, just to be a tease, I was super busy with other projects that will not be named, so I wasn't able to check on the pulse of social media. But I will ask. Oh yeah, maybe I should mention that the game was not a design just by me. It was designed by a team, including, of course, consultants and everyone from the company. So I have guys to ask for if they kept track of what happened on social media about the role-playing game. But I think that we need also to have a little more time to evaluate. Of course, the backers who got the Zombicide role-playing game so far are backers of the Zombicide Second Edition, mainly in general. They could have got it separately, but generally they got everything.
Yeah, they got the whole package.
So they're probably digesting the huge amount of stuff they got so far. And
I think in general, an RPG is something that it takes longer for you to really digest when you get into it. Like, it's not like a board game. You open the box and you play, and you have your full game experience on the day you get it. The RPG, again, it's much more of a lifestyle thing. You want to build your campaign and get the people, and it takes a few sessions for you to really dive into the story you're telling and the experiences you're having. So yeah, I think it takes a bit more time for us to really see the people's reactions. But from what I was able to follow, I think it's been quite good so far. People like the product and at least the promise that it has. And let's see how it plays out on the game table. Right?
Oh, we also probably will have a chance to see a bit more of that also from people that didn't back the Kickstarter, because CMON is participating to the free RPG Day promotion, and we will distribute a free publication containing adventures for the Zombicide Chronicles RPG that people that don't have the game will be able to play by getting the PDF of the quick starter version of the rules that we prepared. So there will be a taste for the general public that didn't buy the game already.
Mhm.
Yeah. It's coming up. I think it's in October, right? Stay tuned to our social media, everyone, because we'll be posting more news on that soon. Another topic that we should cover, because it's bound to come up in the comments.
We probably
Army
already
of the
did.
Dead.
Right. Yeah. That was announced not too long ago that we were doing Army of the Dead for Zombicide, which like it's interesting because when you see the movie, like it's kind of obvious. Like I see people just saying like, look, this is Zombicide the movie already, because it is so much. It jives so well with what we did with Zombicide in terms of that kind of gung ho experience, like characters that are larger than life. The modern setting with crazy zombies and different types. So it was a really fun thing to partner with Netflix, with Zack Snyder, to do this crossover thing. Army of the Dead, a Zombicide game, and well, we're working on it. It's not coming out now, but it shouldn't take too long. So maybe I think we're not going to dive into the game that much at this point, but like development on the game is done. We're just doing refinements and like tweaking the scenarios, making sure everything works. Working on the production side of things, it's well advanced in terms of miniatures and art and graphic design. So we have a game. It takes a while to finish it and get it ready and get it out. And it's very interesting because the Zombicide, it's funny because we've been doing Zombicide for years. It's the core of the company. It was built on Zombicide. But I kind of feel like we're just getting started. Like we went through all those things to build a basis of something that now we get to really explore. Because I kind of see Zombicide. It's not so much a game. It's a genre. We kind of created. Let's do a Zombicide, and you can do a lot of things within that genre, within that core experience of Zombicide, and that's what Army of the Dead is, and that's what we can talk about more things in the future, what we're doing with it, because you take that core experience and you adapt it to whatever it is you're trying to achieve. So in this case, it's a different dynamic. It's not survivors in the zombie apocalypse trying to get by and swinging a pen at walkers that are breaking down their door. This is a paramilitary, well-trained squad of mercenaries going into this zombie-infested Las Vegas, which is a great setting, and they have a specific mission. They have goals that they need to achieve. They have a time to do it in. Everybody has a role in what they need to do to achieve that. And so we're bringing all of that into Zombicide, which makes it a very different experience, even if the core is that same core. So like you have like your characters, they don't start out hopeless. You're coming into a mission. You prepare. You have your loadouts that you prepare for the mission that you're going to undertake. But then it's more about maintaining your equipment and what you find and what you run into during the mission, the unpredictable things that happen, and how things go south very quickly, and you need to adapt. And then you have your objectives. You have your mission, but you also have like personal objectives, like some, because everybody in there has their own things that they're trying to do. So characters' personal objectives will interfere with what you're trying to accomplish as a team, and sometimes you need to like go out of the way. Like it's kind of like in the film, you're trying to break open the safe, but someone needs to rescue someone who is being held in a different building. So the whole team needs to adapt to those things that as they come up. And we're really focusing on each element of the team, because you are building a team with a specific purpose. So you have like the guy who's going to open the safe. You have the mechanic. You have the heavy machinery guy, and each character has a specific thing that they need to do. It's like if you're doing a mission and okay, we need to get the mechanic over to this building so they can start this thing, so we can do that, and only that guy can do that because he is your mechanic guy. So you have that different dynamic of, it's not just about the skills you have, it's about the role you have to play within the story you're telling. So it's I really like what the team is doing with the mechanics, and what the property kind of pushes us to do in terms of like the dynamics, the narrative of the game, and of course the setting, because you have a zombie tiger roaming the streets of Las Vegas. That is just awesome. And you have like a zombie riding a zombie horse, commanding legions of zombies. One of the things I like the most about the setting and how it translated it, because you have the hibernating shamblers. You walk into a room and there's just a bunch of zombies just standing there and doing nothing, and you can actually just walk by them if you are able to keep silent, and nothing will happen. But of course, things always tend to go wrong, and then all of a sudden you're caught in the middle of this mass of zombies. There's a lot more to it than that. I think I said too much. I get excited about all the things we're doing, and I want to share with you. But yeah, it's going to be a great game based on a very fun setting, and we're working on it. No, we're not in a rush. We're going to get it done. It's not going to be a Kickstarter. It is this Zombicide game, kind of like we did Night of the Living Dead. No, it's its own game. We're not sure exactly how it's going to come out, but it's not going to be a full Kickstarter campaign. And it's fun that the Army of the Dead thing. It's not just that film. Like Netflix is building a whole universe around that. So they have a series coming out. They have another movie. They have tie-ins. So it would be nice to have our game just slot in somewhere within that whole pantheon of stuff.
And I would like to remind also, just to go back a little, just a second, to the role-playing game, that while they wait for Army of the Dead, they can play that as a scenario for the role-playing game. It's easily adapted. So the game is already mission-based in a way. So if you can model your characters to the characters in a movie.
I kind of feel like you're going to do that for everything I say, because the RPG is such an open thing. You can whatever I throw at them, you can say, and you can use the RPG to.
No, but actually, Army of the Dead is really there, because if you say, for example, Dead or Alive would be different, you would need more stuff about the time of the frontier and stuff like that. Army of the Dead, it's just Zombicide, with all the differences you say, but of course, as far as the board game needs an adaptation. But if you're creative enough with the role-playing game, you can just take it and and play it.
Sure.
That's true. People, I see in the question and the comments some questions about the release. Okay, I think this summons it up. No Kickstarter. When will it come to retail? Army of the Dead.
As I said, we don't have a date yet. Yes, no Kickstarter. Soon-ish. We just need to make it as soon as it's done.
Well, I think that leads us into our next section here, which I think is what everyone is waiting for, which is spoilers. We know why you joined in. We know what you guys want.
You see, I'm usually the guy throwing spoilers. What do you have for us today, Helena?
Oh, I'm revealing the spoilers.
Okay, yeah.
Oh, wow. No, this is new. I've never had this much power before.
You go ahead.
Okay, shall we see the first one? The first one is coming up really soon. Like with Army of the Dead, we don't have a date yet, but it should be very soon, like a lot sooner.
Much sooner.
Yeah. So let's take a look. Let's see if anyone got it right in the comments. Nope, not yet. That's fine. Let's just take a look at maybe Aranha.
Well, I think I saw many people calling for it already.
Fair. Then Aranha, you can probably give us a little bit more detail about this one.
Yes.
Oh, nice.
Who are you gonna call?
Something
Yeah, so
strange
this-
in the neighborhood, I guess.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, this is again because we did one kind of like crossover packs. We did Mutant Ninja Turtles a while back, which was a very fun first foray into this thing of let's take this amazingly fun and special IP and bring it into our Zombicide game. And it's just it's really kids playing with toys. I want to grab this toy of this thing I love and bring them with all the toys I'm playing. So, and this is the latest one that we're bringing in with the Ghostbusters pack. This is, come on, it's Ghostbusters. It makes perfect sense. You're playing with the undead chasing you, and what's more undead than ghosts and demons and marshmallow monsters.
Francesco, care to explain how you can totally play this in the RPG as well?
Someone from the company already mentioned this in the comments. Yes, you can do this. Well, it would take a bit more work to do it, but I think it would be really nice.
You don't have proton packs on your RPG book? Come on, you gotta future-proof these things.
But since you mention it, we actually made the rules of the game to be as compatible as possible with the board game. So you can actually use the cards from the board game into the role-playing game as equipment cards. So the stats for the weapons are fine. So probably you can even use proton packs.
Right.
Let's take a look at the minutes, shall we? So these will be up in pre-order very soon, and quantities are limited, so keep an eye out for it. We will let you all know before they go live. Should be soon-ish. I see a couple of questions here. Let's take a look. Will it be compatible with classic Zombicide or 2.0?
Yeah, this will be compatible with 1 and 2. We'll include components for both versions. Do realize, yeah, we are phasing out first edition. But this one still contemplates both versions. There will be the large dashboards and the small ID cards and rules for both, and all that jazz. So yeah, fully compatible with both editions. But you might want to consider updating your game to second edition, because this is not the last pack we'll do. But let me see, because this is coming up so closely that I can actually talk a little bit more in depth about this pack. Okay, so for example, I see a question there. Is Slimer an abomination? No, Slimer is not an abomination. Come on, he's the cutest thing ever. He just slimes you. He doesn't kill you. Slimer is very fun. He's a companion, actually. And the mechanics by which you acquire him are very thematic, because usually a companion have to go around and you search for it and you find it, and it follows you around and it gives you an extra skill. It helps you out. But Slimer, anybody who basically is eating anything, if you're discarding like a rice, water, or one of the food cards, if you use one of those cards, he follows you. He goes to you, and you become his master. And then if someone else opens a pack of something, then he flies over to them, and then he's helping them. So he's just this little funny guy just moving around whoever is eating and helping them out. And it was funny when we were doing the sculpt, because in my mind, Slimer was a tiny little thing, like this big. But then when we were doing the sculpt, we started researching like production photos, and I realized how big it's actually supposed to be. Like he's a big spud. Other than that, well, we have the 4 Ghostbusters, and well, it's just they all have the skills that reflect their nature. Like you have Pete Venkman, he's taunting the zombies. They each have their own thing, but they're all Ghostbusters, which means they all start with proton packs, and they they are better equipped to use the proton packs because they have escalation with the proton packs. So the more they keep it firing, it kind of escalates and becomes more powerful. The proton packs themselves are very powerful weapons. Like if you roll sixes, they deal more damage and they give you more dice, and you can. So it's all about that thing of you fire it up and you hold tight and chaos ensues. What else? You have Zul and Vince Clortho, the big guard dogs, and they are roaming around and they basically are opening the gates to whatever, and so they allow more abominations to spawn in. You have Gozer, which is very interesting. We're trying to bring that theme of he becomes whatever you choose him to be when he spawns. So basically, when Gozer spawns, you draw three abomination cards, and you get to choose 2 abilities for it to have. So it will kind of be some other abominations combined, and you choose the kind of thing that is going to chase you down and hunt you and be the nightmare. So that was a fun way to bring that theme into it. And then finally, we have our Stay Puffed Marshmallow Man, who's roaming around, causing mayhem. And of course, the only way to bring it down is to cross the streams. So Molotovs do nothing. They only make him angrier. You're going to have to use your proton packs. And like several heroes in the same round need to use their packs and roll a couple sixes to fire them up and create this mega event that brings it down. So it's going to be very deadly, but very epic if you do succeed to work as a team and break it down.
Okay.
I'll be boring and repeat myself because this is really something I would personally use to play the role playing game. I mean, it's
Sure.
there. We can make yeah. I'm boring, I know, but we have rules for companions, so you can also have that in the role playing game easily and make it and role play the movie. So absolutely something to do.
I want to bring up a question. It has nothing to do with this, but Ghoul Trooper 007 asked a question I want to answer, and I would like to see if Helena, you have an answer for that as well.
Well, this one.
Yes.
Favorite abomination throughout all of the Zombicide games?
So when I read the question initially, I said, I can't choose, but then I realized, no, I can choose because I know exactly what it is. And it is the actual cannibal from 2nd edition.
You stole mine. No.
I came up with it. I didn't steal anything and that was something that was an abomination I wanted to make for years. Ever since the reason why it exists, I came up. I thought this is perfect. We would share around the song in the office, and so eventually we had to have that surprise and play with it. So it was made with a lot of love. When doing the miniature, I was it has to be on all fours. It needs to have a knife on his kidney. It needs to be bloody hands and blood on his face. It was very neatly created.
Okay, since you stole mine, I guess I'll pick another one. You stole my answer. I will say the shapeshifter in Undead or Alive.
Mm-hmm.
Really cool stuff.
Yeah, the big trickster. Yeah.
Yes. With 3 heads you can interchange. So cool.
Yeah, that's a neat thing. That's a very, very good. Do you have a favorite, Francesco? Your son.
Ooh.
I'm probably influenced by the graphics in this case
Sure.
because I've seen so many since I had to check the lore and check everything you had in Zombicide 2nd edition and so on, and I really like the look of the new abominations in second edition, and in particular probably the Abominacop that looks really like a tough beast, and I'm not counting the crazy ones that were in the Kickstarter.
Why not?
Well, I'm just sticking to canon.
That's it's all canon. Come on.
No, but the Abominacop is really good. it's something that looks really scary and tough.
Yeah, I think we had a lot of fun. With second edition, I think in particular, like we went nuts with some of the zombies and all that. It's just lots of fun to create things because of that tone that Zombicide has, where almost nothing is off the table, and you can, just if it's fun, that's okay. It goes.
Yeah.
Well, we have
yes,
sorry, go ahead.
No. I say that some people might think from coming from fantasy role-playing games, for example, they might think that a zombie-focused role-playing game could be monotonous or something like that because you don't have magic or things like this. But actually, it's Zombicide stretched the limits of the usual zombie type of game world, that you can really have anything from weird science to I don't know, folk stories. I see that someone mentioned the Wendigo in the comments. So it's stuff that you can put in there, mix, steer, and serve on your gaming table.
So going back to these crossover packs, so we're doing the Ghostbusters pack is coming out soon. But this is a whole universe that kind of opened to us with these crossover packs. It's something that our licensing team has been doing amazing work, chasing down like the best IPs that make the most sense and are the most fun. And so this is not the last one by any stretch. There's lots of things that we're pursuing or working on. So the future is very bright and very dark in terms of what what we can bring into Zombicide. Just that whole, it's just that toy mashing fun. Just get something you love, put into something else you love, and go nuts. So I think we might even be able to tease some of those things that are coming.
Yeah, we'll take a look at them. In fact, let's make it a game. I will show a super close-up first, and as soon as someone says the right answer in the comments, we'll reveal the whole thing. How about that? Sounds
sure.
good?
I don't think that will take very long, but sure.
Okay.
Come on, guys.
Come on, guys. I trust you. Nope. No one got it right yet.
People are very.
You can do it.
You're very slow typers. Yeah, you go.
Yes. Goddess nightmare. Correct answer. Let's take a look.
Come on. Pull back. That's cool.
Oh yeah.
So that's
everyone got it.
Yeah, and that's all I have to say about that.
That's all any of us has to say about that. Well, that was too easy. Let's take the challenge up a notch.
Another one? A different one? A different one?
Yes.
Okay.
Drum roll.
I trust your comment section.
That's metal.
Okay.
Well, they're not quite right. There you go.
Oh, there you go. Sharky, you got bragging rights. Let's pull back.
Pull back. And okay, and that's all I have to say about that. But that the thing that blows my mind is we just revealed these two amazing packs coming for some game near you in the future, not too distant, and these are not even the one that I'm most excited about.
Tease.
It's the God honest, like this is my. Come on, it's what it is, but yeah, There's even, of course, and the good thing is, I'm sure that what I'm excited about is not what many people would be most excited about, and that's the fun thing about doing all these packs and just doing all these things is something will be the most amazing thing for someone, and so everybody's happy.
Yeah.
Well, we do have about 5 minutes left. We did, I guess, most of our reviews.
Yeah, I think that's enough for a day, right? Come on.
At least
So-
the things that will not cost our job.
Yeah, I think we can still talk a bit more about the future in more vagaries. I think, and I think, yeah,
Yeah,
I think we still have time. We can talk.
yeah.
If you want, maybe just go back to the reasons why we're involved here in our Venice studio or do you have something specific in mind?
I don't know. Elena, what do we do now? What do we do now?
I was thinking you could discuss a little bit about the future of campaign mode. This was a huge request we had for the Zombicide universe for years, and it's here and it works, and people are playing it and loving it. So, what's the future for campaign mode?
Right. Yeah, campaign mode is something that we created for a second edition with Washington DC and Fort Hendricks, which is a different kind of expansion for Zombicide, which is it's not so much about, oh, here's a new zombie type and a whole new mechanic about the environment. It's more about a setting and a story that you're going to experience. So it's much more of a unique experience. It's very delicately crafted, where you go around discovering things, uncovering objectives, and the story unfolds as you're exploring each scenario, and there are decisions to be made, and you string the scenarios into one long campaign. It was really fun to create. It was a big challenge, and from what I've seen of people playing, the expansion is being very well received. I think it's a very different way to play Zombicide. I think it narrows the gap between the board game and the RPG, I think, and I think this is why Francesco is in this panel as well, because his involvement with Zombicide is not just with the RPG, because we do want to keep making more of these campaign expansions, and we are working on more of them, and we're not ready to reveal what we're working on, but I think we can talk about what we're doing with them, right?
Yes, we were asked basically to help out with making the campaigns expansions more intense, possibly, or to have a bigger storytelling experience in there. So making not simply like interlinked scenarios with consequences from one mission to another, but to find ways to enhance the general feel that that you're playing a story and not just playing interconnected scenarios. So, of course, the big part of the job is made by the people working on the board game, but we are bringing our experience in storytelling games in general the same way we did for Trudvang and then for the Zombicide Chronicles role-playing game. And I think that it is still a very different experience, but yeah, you're right, Thiago, by saying that it's a on the border between the board game and the role-playing game. We made sure that the role-playing game plays very much like a role-playing game, that it's not simply a sort of board game simulation in a role-playing game style. It's really a role-playing game, so it's very much a different thing from the point of view of how you feel the experience, but it's totally Zombicide as far as the general mood, where the campaigns are, probably the missing link. You already explored that with Fort Hendricks and Washington DC, but yeah, we're adding just a little bit of flavor in there to make them even more memorable.
Yeah, because what those campaign expansions are all about, it's about the storytelling. It's about the seeing the story unfold and taking your part in that story. So it made perfect sense to bring your team who work on the RPG to work with the game design team. So, let's make it exactly what it needs to be. And it's a lot of fun because it's smaller expansions. They're very focused, and they allow us to take Zombicide into new and exciting places, each with their own flavor, even a few mechanical twists. But it's more about what if Zombicide is happening here, in this setting with these people, with this story unfolding, and also it's just trying to breathe, keep pumping life into Zombicide, keeping it going, keeping people engaged. So these won't necessarily be a whole Kickstarter. That's something we can simply release an expansion, like normal companies do, I guess. You just release a game and and then people buy the game and they play the game. So yeah, look forward to campaign expansions in the future, taking your Zombicide into new frontiers.
Yeah, another new frontier we will be reaching soon is the novels. Right. Expanding even more the Zombicide universe, will have some novels coming out in October.
Novels?
Yes. Oh, you're hearing about this for the first time?
I don't even know about novels.
Oh. Yes, this is happening. You all should stay tuned.
I don't know if I have to interpret Tiago's reactions as "shut up."
I would never.
No, not to Elena in general, but just.
Well, we have just a couple of minutes left, so I'd like to thank you all for joining us, and you both for joining me today. We can, if you have some closing words on Zombicide and all that we covered today.
Yeah, well, Zombicide next year is the 10th anniversary of Zombicide. So, as I said, it's the beginning of a new cycle, I guess, in which I think the franchise is matured and we're taking it into new and exciting directions. The whole a Zombicide game thing that we started with Night of the Living Dead is something we will continue to explore in terms of, like I said, Zombicide. It's become more than a game. It's a genre. It's something that it's a basis for us to do anything that's fun and engage people with those things. But of course, that does we're not forgetting our main line of games. We will keep serving those core experiences, the core Zombicide lines, all the while doing some wild things that you will find out soon enough.
Yeah. What about you, Francesco?
That it's good to see that that Zombicide is expanding into these territories like comic books and role-playing game and novels. So that is it's becoming much more than simply a way to have fun with a board game, but it's bringing that level of fun to different media. And because it demonstrated in years that the potential was there, and so we have now the chance to tell stories in different ways, and stories that fans actually helped us in making so far, and so we're giving them more for more years to come.
Can you believe Zombicide is turning 10?
Yeah,
Does it make
I remember where it all started. It was actually on my first dinner with David Preddy. When I first met him, he told me about, and I'm making this game with zombies, and it will have 72 miniatures. And I go, wow, are you crazy? Like, he was just starting to develop the whole thing. Yeah. It's been 10 years.
And would you believe that a person that I won't name, even because nobody will probably really know him, but actually at the time said oh, another zombie game? Are zombies just,
Done.
something
Aren't
that
you
is
done with
done
zombies?
over and over again? Nothing was so wrong like that.
And may I say, from the comment section, David Preddy, go home. You're drunk. Stop talking about my hair.
Oh my
Where is
god.
that?
This is called lockdown look. Come on, it's not that
No,
bad.
but
Yeah,
oh,
it's
David
really
say
in
never
style right now.
David says that he never met the guy that said that. Yeah, he didn't say it in his face.
Oh. Okay.
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 Well, I see this is going out of control.
I,
Let's
I,
wrap
I,
this
I, I
up.
think, I think we better cut it now.
Thank you all. Hope to see you all soon, and stay tuned to our social media because, as you saw, there is plenty coming up. So, see you soon. Bye.
Bye.
Thank you, Elena. Thank you, Tiago. Thank you, everyone.